battery projects, whilst they were in existence from 2010, which I think is the figure that Mr. Saccarello gave yesterday, the price of the battery systems and the volume of space that they took up made it completely unfeasible for these battery systems to be used for power generation. In fact, if we think back to the election in 2011, there was a design and there was a very controversial issue related to the power station. And even in their own design, the GSD did not think of including such a system because it wasn't workable at the time. The cost has been lowering since 2010. It significantly lowered in 2020 and it stabilized in 2020. The technology has also become far more predictable, stable and user-friendly. And therefore, now is the time to start looking at these projects and not when the battery systems were in their infancy. So we look at statistics provided by the GEA, you can actually see that since the period of commissioning, there are significantly less power cuts. So I've got the figures here for 2021, 2022 and 2023. And for example, one of the things that Mr. Saccarello said in his interview yesterday was that there had been over 30 power cuts in 2021. I'd like to tackle that figure. The figure is 10 power cuts.
These are widespread.
These are widespread blackouts. Yeah. So yes, there might have been smaller power cuts within Gibraltar, but those are not caused by the North Mill power station. Yeah. So power cuts that are caused by the North Mill power station are the Gibraltar-wide power cuts.
And those 10 in 2021.
And of those, there were 10 power cuts in 2021. Out of those 10. There is a total of five out of 10, so it's half every year roughly, that are caused by the North Mill power station, and the rest are grid issues or other issues.
Half of them were to do with the distribution of electricity, so maybe a cable fault or maybe a contractor cutting through a cable that distributed the electricity across Gibraltar, and then the other 5 were to do with the new power station.
That's right. Most of the power cuts, or in fact we think the majority of the power cuts that are because of the North Mill power station, will be dealt with by the new BESS system. However, it has to be made clear that if there's a fault in the grid, the BESS system will not be able to recover the system quick enough for there not to be a power cut.
And does that sort of 50-50 between issues to do with the power station and issues to do with the grid, does that continue across 22 and 23?
Well, in 2023, it's exactly the same figure. So in 2023, we had 8 power cuts, and of those 8 power cuts, 4 were North Mill power station issues and 4 were grid issues.
So then this project stands to eliminate half.
If we look at the statistics, it's envisaged, and our advice is that half the power cuts that we have would be eliminated by this BESS system.
So I mean, really, it is like a big battery that when the power generation has an issue, the draw can switch sort of seamlessly to the battery, which has power ready to go out.
Absolutely, and it's got an hour of power supply, which basically gives the remember they've got 6 engines, so it gives another engine time to start up so that there is a seamless power supply to Gibraltar.